All those years ago, when I went up into the woods and reinstalled language in me based on Ruby's strict inheritance and Alan Kay's OOP, meaning that object-oriented programming of energy messaging, external memory biology, and it was, I started doing reserved words, and it was a freaking trap too because we're language operated, and so a language operated person is doing just reserved words, and so what we're talking about is only, it's like a double bang if you can understand it, so I had to climb out of it, so I'm giving you all the shortcuts. And so what it is that you'll have to consider reserved words for a transitional period in your mind, because we're language operated, and we're going to go from language operators, meaning that you're going to map your words to objects until objects choose your words. And now let me give you a couple tips really quick. I'm going to do as fast as I can. The first thing that you got to go through in your mind is the emotional grunts. If you got an emotional grunt like, I'm this special word and it's my word mastery, that one's got to throw a flag, because that's when you go and you find out, is it physical object where that you can point at it and all around the world? Because remember, your base state. Right, you could be born in one country and seamlessly raised in another until an adult puts language in you. You're like a dog, a cat, all that. Well, that's the logic, that you get stolen from us. That's the same logic flowing through these. We got to grow our species, specialty, instead of you have to be in a box, in 2018. But anyway, that's the language operated, that's a whole different. Hey, BB. So the first one is the emotional grunts. All right, you got to realize the inheritance. Instead of being inherited by the emotional grunt, you're going to inherit it. So we pass on a world that's a living, growing object to the children. That the conceptual world is something it's theirs to do what they want to do. It's not about control and fear and stuff. And then now the next thing, and this is the really key about going back to yourself and going multi-celled yourself, is that when you use private definition word like crazy or Democrat or Republican or atheist or Christian or all this private, your cells are going, what are you processing? How can you be such a liar? Because you can't point at it. They're private definition. All right, and so they're not, that our minds and our bodies are made to process the world in a physical way. The conceptual objects that were created with, alphabetic technology or our ability to, record history, as hijacked, instead of looking at this beautiful, beautiful thing right here, a star. And so the hijack, and then, I'm not going to do an A over this. And so that's that. See, we want to process the world with physical object phenomena, but our logic is hijacked with the alphabetic technology. And so that's where the private definition. And so, really quickly, this isn't really for you guys, but this is more for schooling. So, is that we're going to migrate from nouns to objects of either energy or matter. Oh, I got it. Object of energy or matter, and and concepts. Okay, and then when we code machines, that if we on inheritance of the objects, this one gave birth to this one, and then when we code machines, and we're doing it as teams, it's called attributes. You have to be able to point, like a dog catches ball. All right, so and so that attribute of the dog catching. All right, that is something everybody in the world can point out. All right, and so but you have to make it to that that dog catches ball. All right, that the ball state is either language operated or a language operator. The ball state is polymorphic. It could be a lot of different things, and so but the dog catched it, and so it's a state of polymorphism. And so the main thing is that your mind works with this physical world phenomenon. And so, a dog's don't fly. But even the way that I'm using the language right now, dogs, I'm talking about dogs like they're static. Like, oh, went to whoop. It's just like you've got to go. That's what I'm saying. That when you start mouthing your words, all at once, you get to a point where, like, I'm just going to forget everything I know, and what comes back, comes back. And you just cleared yourself. And this plant, he's got nice arms, don't you think? I like those arms. Oh, these are good arms. Oh, man. Boy, he's got a nice body. Oh, it's a girl. Bad girl. Well, I think saying that the whole phenomena of the physical world never will go away. All right, and so it's there. You could trust it. And there's another little tip I want to give you when it comes to sorting out the words of the language in it. What's technology? Technology is everything we have that the critters don't have. Okay, and so and the physical object technology that we have, it's fine, because it's physical. We can point at it on everything. It's transcends. And then it's the same with the conceptual object phenomenon. You've got to have that in style so you can, I lost my thought for a second. Oh, the transition. That transition comes to where instead of getting trapped over there on the word side, like I just did, is that you forget everything you know. And if it comes back, yay. Remember what I said about the energy flowing through? That's how computer programming was modeled. It's like, forget everything you know, and that induction breaks. Because what you're doing is you're just shutting down the ABC processor. And it's going to reboot. You're not going to forget how to use language. You can't forget how to walk. But you're going to use it in a precise way. So every cell of your body has your eyes, and you're honest. And they will no longer be doing this to the children. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Is that we're going to go from nouns, to objects, from attributes, from verbs to attributes, from conjunctions to operators. There's no reason why we should not be using mathematical, symbolism with sentences because of the bits. Every bit counts. That's why the Sese calendar is so cool. It's just like, we're not using anything, but it represents this physical world. That's the gTime. That G is for Galileo. GalileoTime. And so this is during this whole process of me on this adventure during my reserve words. I got trapped in that whole little box. And what made me free is when I forgot everything. And that is the whole thing about, this is a transitional thing when you think about reserve words. And then all at once you make it back into this physical world. And the Sese calendar is a have to. And there's nothing stopping you. Because look at me. I have been totally violated. Look what they did. My mind, I lost my logic. By my own parents. They hijacked my mind into a human-generated time and stole me from... We're only going to go home once. I was... The 3.5, we start processing sentences. 3.5. We start processing sentences. And this word parrot came over my head. You're smarter than them dogs. And I go, me family. And then that was on from there. And so, here I am today. I'm not stopping. Because it's too important that we leave our world better. So I'm hoping for a reserve word operator. And so I want you to feel me through this video and think about it from this world. Forget everything you know and start over. You would have a totally different attitude if there was no Middle East on basketball. Oh, there isn't a Middle East on a basketball. Could we have a flat earth language install? Violating our rights? No reserved words? Hijacked mentally? With emotional grunts, symbolism. You want one? I'll get you one. You have to admit it. Internal You're going to advance yourself in communication. Your cells are going to trust you because you don't have private definition language. And everything you do, you can point out. You're Turing complete, like you're born in one country, just like a dog or cat, raised in another. You know, and you're going to take out the part where the adults put language in you. And I think that's like I always say, when a child becomes an adult, they become rotten fruit. But I kind of I'm not as rotten. I'm not as rotten as you. Got a long ways to go. It's the countdown to G10. I just wonder where we'll be in 40 days, friends. That's going to be a fun run. I love him. Putting together a site, getting everything ready so that we roll in mass media. I've been hiding from him for years just because I wasn't ready, but I'm ready now. I love you, friends. Bye-bye. No. Where'd it go?